Polybius. Polybius is an urban legend about a rare arcade game released in 1981. The game was created by a mysterious company called Sinneslöschen, German for sense deletion, and was a puzzle shoot-'em-up, somewhat like Tempest. It was only released in a few suburbs of Portland, Oregon. Supposedly, it was very popular, with people forming long lines to play it. However, players reported seeing strange things about the game, such as hearing a woman crying, and seeing grotesque faces out of the corner of their eyes. Players would also have nightmares, experience nausea, headaches, blackouts, or even develop amnesia. Some even supposedly committed suicide. Others stopped playing the video game completely, or video games at all, and at least one became an anti-video game activist. According to one owner of the arcade, men wearing black suits would often come to collect records from the game. They did not take any money, simply data on gameplay. Because of this, the leading theory is that it was some sort of government experiment using subliminal messages. The game remains in obscurity as around 1 month after its release, all of the cabinets suddenly disappeared. One cabinet reappeared in an arcade in 1998, but quickly disappeared again. While some have tried to recreate the game, no one has ever found the original ROM. Polybius Reloaded. This title was found on a laptop belonging to a retired government official. Anyone familiar with creepypastas throughout the history will recognize the cabinet. Polybius was an addictive game thought to have been developed by the government to test mind control technology. Alas, this is another theory. 12-4-2003. So excited. I found the cabinet. It's in good condition, just dusty. Polybius. Such a majestic cabinet. So simplistic. This will be my masterpiece. 1-10-2004. Disaster. I've been toying with the cabinet, getting it prepared. The wires are corroded. The cabinet and its contents are still intact, but I've not been able to get it to play coin-operated. Now I know why. The wires leading from the mechanism to the motherboard are corroded beyond repair. Luckily, it was just on one side. I can replace the wire, but the materials I need are expensive and scarce. Referring back to the blueprints, I found that I need silver wires. Silver, but it'll be worth it. 1-15-2004. I've done it. The game is fully functional. Every side repainted and restored, every wire resoldered, every part perfect. I got my nephew to play it and verified that it is original. He can't sleep. He doesn't think I know, but I do. He sneaks into my workshop at night for a fix, another round of this wonderful game. I can't wait. Just can't wait until my own additions have been added. 1-20-2004. I've added in the wiring and locked the coin shut to prevent further tampering until my plan is underway. I've already contracted the local arcade, censored, about renting out the cabinet. My nephew threw a huge fit when I told him he couldn't play anymore. I can't let this be traced back to me. 1-23-2004. He finally got over it, I think. He's much calmer now, even though I didn't let him play. He asked about it still, like asking about a girl at school. It's cute, like he's got a crush on my cabinet. 1-24-2004. The little bastard. He played it. He broke into my workshop and cut the lock with bolt cutters to get into the game itself. He must have been watching me install my hardware. He played it, and when I walked in on him, he ran. I removed the power supply, and it's currently in a box under my bed. I just hope it doesn't affect him. 1-26-2004. He killed himself. Didn't leave a note. Just offered himself with his shoelaces in the closet. I don't think they suspect a thing. He was a troubled kid. Didn't really have any friends. I feel horrible. The funeral is next week. Was it because of the game? Dear God, I hope it isn't that strong. I just hope that this was just the final straw for him. 2/12/2004. I never should have played it myself. I was so curious as to what could have caused him to kill himself. Was it that fantastic? Was it such an ecstatic feeling that one would kill themselves rather than do without? I found out. I played it. The game itself wasn't too interesting, but I lost myself in the colors, the spinning shapes, the beauty. I came away from the 5-minute session with a buzz, not unlike that of sex, but so much stronger. So much stronger that even now I'm itching to play again. I must. I don't want to, but I must. Is this how addicts feel? 2/15/2004. I'm so near to my goal, but I don't want to give it up. It's mine. I don't care if my wife feels I'm spending too much time in my workshop. I didn't even come to bed last night. I haven't actually slept in days. I can feel my mind fraying at the edges. I never should have played it. It's mine. 2/21/2004. My wife sold the game. She sold it to the arcade that I was going to sell it to. I got so angry, I hit her with a wrench. She's bleeding and she's on the ground and she won't wake up. I'm so scared. Why did I do that? Why did she have to sell it? Why? I wish I hadn't played it. I can feel the want, the need filling me like ants crawling into my skin. It's starting to hurt. Physically hurt. I can't even go outside in the day. It's too bright. The stars are bright through my sunglasses. I have to go bury my wife now. I'll go to the arcade and post more soon. 3/2/2004. It hurts, but I can handle it. I have an old friend who sold me 2 bags of an amazing drug called OxyContin. But the pain is less. But I can't make it stop unless I stop the arcade. I noticed there was a long line at the arcade. 6 or 7 people waiting in front of me to play. At least I know I'm not suffering alone. 3/5/2004. Mother-in-law showed up today. She hasn't heard from Molly in a few days. I told her we had a fight and she left. Not exactly a lie, but she bought it. She never much liked me, my Molly. She assumed she'd be back in a few months. She's done it before, and it gives me to decide what my plan is. I just realized that the cut I'm getting from the arcade owner for the cabinet is just going right back into the cabinet. He says I should get a cut because I bought him his most popular game. The crowd among the machine is like a crowd of addicts. Tired, haggard, all with the same knowing expression and greedy hands when I bring them a bag of quarters. I wish I had destroyed the damn thing when my nephew died. 3/8/2004. The drugs have stopped working. Originally, I was just using the OxyContin to stop the pain from getting too much to bear so fast, with maybe one arcade visit every few days, but the drugs have started wearing off. I can't help but to go back almost every day now. I can't take any more of these pills without hurting myself. I'm going to try buying back the cabinet tomorrow. 3/10/2004. I talked to the owner about buying the game back, and he told me in no uncertain terms to fuck off. I told him I needed it, that he had no idea what it was like to play this game. I spilled my guts. I was going to use the old programming. The programming I had researched in my time at the Pentagon that drew people in for that experiment of the research results in Maine. I just wanted to make a quick buck. Out of an incentive at a store, I'm pulling it in 50-50. He wasn't mad. He was just more adamant that he wanted to keep it. He didn't give me any quarters either. Greedy fuck. 3/20/2004. I've done it again. I was at the machine playing it when he tapped me on the shoulder and he told me I was closing for the night. I wasn't finished. He tapped me harder, then pushed me when I ignored him, and I don't know what came over me. One second I was looking at this fat Italian, and the next second I was on top of him, with my hands around his throat, and he wasn't moving. I killed him. I turned around and smashed the screen of the machine with my fist, and ripped the motherboard out and snapped it in half. I'm at the end of my rope. The pain is returning, and I can't bear it much longer. If anyone finds this diary, make sure it goes to the public. I'm leaving this text file on my computer while I play a few rounds of roulette with my revolver. I'm sorry. I never should have done it. I'm coming, Molly. I hope you'll forgive me.